The rematch between Jiri Prochazka and Glover Teixeira is set for UFC 282 on December 10th. Jiri Prochazka, a 29-3 record, pulled up a 5th-round rear naked choke to win a light heavyweight title at UFC 275 in Singapore. As for Glover Teixeira, with a record of 33-8, was on an impressive 6-fight win streak, won the belt at the age of 42 against Islam Makhachev before losing it to Jiri Prochazka in their last fight. Glover is looking to reclaim the title in their rematch. UFC bantamweight fight between Ketlen Vieira and Raquel Pennington has been added to UFC Fight Night Card on January 14, 2023. Ketlen Vieira, 13-2 record, ranked number 2 in the bantamweight division, defeated Miesha Tate and most recently Holly Holm back in May. Raquel Pennington, 14-8 record, ranked number 5 in the bantamweight division, is on a 4-fight win streak with wins over Marion Renault, Penny Chienza, Macy Chiasson, and Aspen Ladd. Khabib believes that Islam Makhachev should roll over Charles Oliveira at UFC 280. Nurmagomedov said in an interview with UFC Russia, "I think Islam is more skilled than Oliveira. Secondly, his experience as an amateur fighter. Also, he's at his peak. Islam is at his peak. Islam isn't 23, 26, or 27. He's 30. A week after the fight, he will be 31. It's the best time for any athlete. It's a time when your mental and physical state should be in synergy. Sometimes your mental state is high, but your physical state is going down. Or when you're 27 and at your physical peak, but mentally you're not there yet. Because you're just 27, not 31, and Islam is at his peak. I think Islam is better overall. Of course, there are some potential dangers that we're working on where Islam needs to be careful. Other than that, Islam should roll over him." Khabib Nurmagomedov believes that Tony Ferguson is only fighting for money. In an interview with UFC Russia, Khabib said, "His time is up, and there's no way to get it back. Not Khabib, not Tony, nobody would had our time, and he passed. He continues to fight. He needs money. You have to pay your bills in the US, and I'm sure that since he's a Californian, I know all the Californian fighters, everything he earned, take half of that. I think he keeps fighting for money to pay bills, taxes. He has a family. I think he has 2 kids. I don't blame him, but you can't get back time. When your time goes away, it doesn't ask your name." Tony Ferguson moved up to welterweight after losing his last 4 fights in the lightweight division. At UFC 279 in September, Ferguson ended up fighting Nate Diaz in the main event and lost to a 4th-round triangle choke. That defeat extended Tony Ferguson's current losing streak to 5. Marlon Chito Vera weighs in on how Sean O'Malley versus Petr Yan would go.
Just quickly on that fight, like O'Malley taking on Yan, obviously you beat O'Malley, and people were a little bit surprised to see O'Malley wanting to actually fight Yan. What are you expecting from this fight? Are you giving Sean much of a chance here? Do you think he can shock some people out there? Do you think he's evolved enough to beat Piotr at the event?
I feel really anybody can shut your lights. Anything can happen. You can break your feet in the first round. You can get cracked. But you also gotta be realistic. The only 2 hard fights that the guy has faced in his life, he got knocked the fuck out in one, and in the second one he poked the guy in the eyes. Couldn't handle himself. And honestly, before the eye poke happened in the Pedro Munoz fight, it's not like he was doing something crazy. It wasn't even like he was kicking his ass. They were like literally going a slap for a slap in those low kicks, and really no one was making any damage. No one was doing really anything. So it's hard to think that he can do crazy things, you know. But now you're fighting number 1 contender. You got nothing to lose. You definitely get a little more confidence because you're like, fuck it. Like, if I lose, I'm supposed to lose. If I win, you know, I'm the cock of the block. So mentally, you got an edge there. But in my opinion, is honestly how Petr Yan shows. Is he taking it seriously, or is kind of like, this is an easy fight? Because there's no easy fights in the UFC. Everybody's good. Everybody's talented. So it's almost like you can harm yourself by being overconfident and just taking it easy. Fuck, I train like I'm fighting fucking Godzilla, and for me, every opponent have the same weight, the same caliber. I don't judge no one out of nothing. I just pretend it's gonna be hard as fuck, and I work hard as fuck, and that's why I'm calm and confident, because I'm not worried about doing the wrong thing or taking bad decisions, and it is what it is.
Chito also gives his thoughts on Aljamain Sterling versus TJ Dillashaw.
Obviously, TJ Dillashaw versus Aljamain Sterling is around the corner, and I'm curious who you think wins that one and how that plays out, and also who you might be facing by the time you get your title shot.
Honestly, it's hard to know. I believe TJ is gonna be the aggressive guy. Is gonna come and look for the fight. In the other side, Aljamain is the guy is not a guy that's gonna be willing to fucking die in there and just sit down and scrap. He always tries to get a hold of you, get you tired, ground and pound you, and hoping for a submission. His whole career has been fighting like that. That doesn't mean he's not a good fighter. That doesn't mean he's not gonna beat you. That's what you cannot be fooled by. Yeah, he's probably not gonna be mean and try to fuck you up, but he will definitely get a hold of you and ruin your night. So I think all comes down to wrestling and control. But T is a real wrestler. I'm not. I'm good at it. I keep getting better, but I didn't grow up wrestling. I'm more like a real fighter. I really like to fight, and I will fight anywhere. But TJ he has to wrestle the whole thing. So if T can, keep him away from him and just put pressure, that can be a hard night for Aljamain, looking on how he fought in the past. He really gets shy when somebody defended takedown and says fuck you, I'm gonna kick your ass. But we'll see, We'll see what happens. Honestly, it's just at that level is hard to pick, That's why it's almost more just an opinion than actual fact.